Okay, I'm going to talk about a program that I use for most of my clients that are running Windows machines. It's a little bit of a safety precaution or way to remove any spyware or malware that could be found on their machines. I usually recommend a couple pieces of software when I go out to a user's residence or place of business. And one of those programs is called Malwarebytes, and you can find that at www.malwarebytes.org. Once you get out to that site, that's malwarebytes.org. Malwarebytes. Okay, and so once you get there, you want to do a download and you want to save the file. I have saved one already that I downloaded earlier to my desktop. And once you save the file, you can either, in some instances, you can run it. If it lets you run it, you can go ahead and hit run. Otherwise, just save it and save it to your desktop somewhere. And then what you want to do is go back and open the file. You're going to notice a file that says mbam setup and some version numbers. What you want to do is double click on that, and that's going to give you an option to install. I've got it here on my desktop, and you can double click on that and run it. Once you get it installed, this is what it looks like. It's going to be pretty simple and straightforward. It's got some tabs at the top and some different options. The first thing I usually do is go right into the settings tab, and you've got some options in here. One of those is create a right-click context menu, and I like to have that checked. And then I usually uncheck the bottom one, which is open the log file immediately after saving. The log file is nice, but I don't need to see it every time I do a scan. You can always go back and look at the log file later if you need to, or if you have detected some malware on your machine. I always have it selected to automatically save the log file, but I don't need to open it right away. Okay, so if you have this create right-click context menu selected, that's really cool, because if somebody sends you a file and you download it and you save it to your desktop and you're not sure what it is, if it's a document or a PDF or an exe or something that somebody emailed you and you're a little concerned about it, you can just save it to your desktop, and then you can right-click with the right mouse button, and that'll give you a context menu option to scan with Malwarebytes anti-malware. And that's a real nice feature, because that simply opens the application and will scan that individual file, and you won't have to scan your whole machine every time. Okay, so then after you've done that and checked those options, there's some other settings here. There's some scanner settings. I usually have everything checked, and I usually just set these to show results, and do not show results for P2P software. That's going to be an individual setting depending on what software you use. Got some updater settings, and I tell it to download and install, notify me when there's an update ready. That's always good to have those two checked. The scheduler settings is only available if you purchase the full version, and I usually don't schedule it anyway, so it works fine for me. Anyway, back to the general settings tab. Those are the options that you probably want to have checked, and then I jump over here to the scanner tab over here at the top. Actually, before you go into the scan, you can always update as well. I know if you just installed this software, it's probably asked you if you wanted to update it, and you probably did that when you did the installation. But anytime I open the software, I always usually head right for the update tab, and I check for updates to make sure that it has the current database and that it's all updated with the most recent definitions. Okay, then back to the scanner tab. That's pretty simplistic here too as well. You've got three options. You can do a quick scan, a full scan, or a flash scan, and the flash scan is only available to the licensed users who have purchased a full version. I usually do the quick scan on a weekly basis, but what I recommend is for your first time is to do a full scan. Okay, so when you select quick scan, we'll just do that for this test here. You do a quick scan, and the thing that you want to pay attention to here is objects infected. And what you'll see here is, in my case, 0, and hopefully in yours it'll be 0 also. But in the unlikely event that you do have an object infected, don't panic. This software is going to remove that for you, and it's going to clean out your system. So your computer will not be infected once you get done using this software, and that's a really good thing. So here we go, the scan completed, and there's no malicious items that were detected, and they've saved the log file in case I need to look at that. So there we go. Okay. Alrighty, so if it does find something, what will happen is this number will be indicated here, and you'll see objects infected. There'll be a number, and it'll be in red text. So if you do see something, what you're going to have is a button down here that's going to say show results instead of main menu. So once you see that, you'll click show results, and it'll give you a list in another window of the infected items that it sees, and then at that point you can go ahead and remove those selected items. There'll be another button, and when you remove them, that'll clean it all out of your system. And then you may have to reboot, and if that's the case, once you reboot, I usually run the scan again. I come back and I do another quick scan to make sure that it's all been removed from the machine. If, however, you get a 0 objects infected, then that's good news, and you're ready to go. So I recommend running this software at least once a week, and if you have any further questions or you need any other assistance, feel free to go out to geekpro.com, GeekPro, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. In the future, if you need some help or assistance with any technically related issues, feel free to drop me an email and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon.